Hello everyone and welcome back to another Schnuckatoo video. Today we have a very special guest with us, productivity lecturer Dr. Jeffrey. We had to restart this video 2 minutes into my monologue because Jeffrey said my full name and doxed me, so then yeah. Anyways, today we will be talking about how to actually apply productivity theory. Now what does that mean? Well, I as a person kind of understand how to be productive, but I can't actually apply it to myself. So Jeffrey today is going to help me with that.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin, for that kind introduction.
Uh-huh.
So, for the guys who don't know me, I'm esteemed amongst my close friends for being someone who's really productive, but it's not really in the fact that I my daily life is seen as someone who's extremely diligent. Is diligent and like always on task and stuff, but it's more of the fact that I've been through challenges I put for myself and where I need very high productivity, and when I need to use it, I can have extremely efficient productivity, if that makes any sense.
Sure. That did not make much sense, but whatever. Oh, look, this looks nice. This glowstone, I like that. Anyways,
What?
yeah, Jeffrey has, uh, well, he is,
I already screwed up my reputation.
huh?
I already screwed up my reputation.
Don't worry. Jeffrey, on the outside, he's a very facetious.
Yeah, restart this. Restart this.
Why? No, it's fine. It's fine. Jeffrey's a rather
Oh
facetious
my
fellow, but on the
God.
inside, he is so extremely productive.
Okay, well, all right. Anyways, we're talking about applications here today, right, Kevin?
What? Oh, applications of productivity. I thought we were talking about college applications. But yes, we are
No.
talking about how to apply productivity correctly.
Okay, and then you told me that in Kevin's case, it seems that he's very well aware of how productivity works and what are the things that control it. But it just seems that he's unable to actually apply them and actually become productive. Is that true?
That is correct.
So, well, the first things I just want to get out of the way is that like how much do you know of um things that correlate to the for the motivation of being productive?
I think, okay, we had a bit of pre-discussion, but I think all you need is something you want to get done, and oftentimes it depends on how much you want to get that thing done. If you really want to get it done, I feel like there shouldn't be any barriers preventing you from
Mm.
actually getting that thing done. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Mm. So in that case, that's true, right? If you usually have a goal, the ideal situation is that you're really motivated to get that goal done and you'll be productive to get it done. But we really can't simplify it that easily. Like we should look at it
Fair.
from the macro scale and see what goes on between having a goal and actually getting it done. It's the motivation, right? It's the will
Yeah,
to actually get it done. And for
exactly.
that, there's a lot of other considerations to take into account.
Mm-hmm.
One is that a lot of motivation is like it comes from a bunch of hormones in our bodies.
Uh,
And
is
okay,
this
well,
scientifically substantiated?
okay, somewhat, yeah. Like testosterone is a huge thing for motivation,
All right.
and like dopamine, right? That
Uh huh.
dopamine encourages you to get things
Well,
done. But a lot
the
of
the
these hormone,
yearning for dopamine, the your like I don't think dopamine directly
oh,
influences you to get things done.
no, dopamine rises before you get something done. So if you like want food, your dopamine level rises in order to
Oh,
get that
sure,
task.
sure, okay.
Okay, but like something that you may not realize, and I know is a situation with you, Kevin,
Uh
is
huh.
that sleep controls a lot of
Ah,
this
yes.
hormonal
I've talked about this on my channel
output,
before.
right? And
Uh, Jeffrey,
in personal
Jeffrey,
experience,
Jeffrey. See, this is the thing. I understand the theory. Look, I made a video a few days ago on my channel called "The Root to All My Problems," and you know what I talked about?
what?
My sleep schedule. I
Okay.
believe that my sleep schedule was one of the main causes to my inability to be productive, and I tried fixing it. However, has been rather unsuccessful.
Okay, we will talk about that. We will talk about that in terms of how to fix that sleep schedule. But
Okay.
I just want to make it very
Also,
clear of,
I regret to inform you that your airtime is limited. The maximum length of my videos is 15 minutes.
oh my God, bro. Cut
Or
that
or
stupid. Oh my God, bro.
or just
Okay,
just try to be concise, because I don't want
okay,
to going on
okay,
like 20
okay,
twenty
man.
three
Okay,
minutes.
man. Okay, man. I
Okay,
mean, you can
okay.
break it up in two parts. Worst comes to worst. Okay.
Sure.
Um, I just want to make it very clear of the importance of sleep. How important do you think sleep is for motivation?
Very.
How do you know
Extremely.
that? How do you know that?
Experience.
Okay, yeah.
Like
So
half
you,
the time, the reason why I don't get started on my videos, I've talked about this in my videos, but half the time why I don't get started on my videos is because oh look, there's someone here. Oh, it's Mystical Sapien. Okay, I don't have, I just want to go to sleep, and I don't have the motivation to actually like get started, because when I get home, like if I'm really tired that day, what I do instead of sitting at my desk and working on my video, what I do is I just sit on the couch with my dog and then go to sleep half the time. And like if I just manage to get over that tiny little hump of just sitting at my desk and starting to edit my video and not going on YouTube and whatever, I can definitely get a good like 90 minutes down of editing my video. And I've done that before too. But the reason it rarely happens is I just don't sleep enough, and then I just don't edit my video.
they're saying for you, um, not getting enough sleep, the main problem of that is the fact that you just feel sleepy and you don't want to do your videos. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's the main reason it affects my
Okay.
productivity.
Uh, That's one part to why getting low sleep is bad for productivity. But there's also this huge other, like, kind of untalked about part in where getting low sleep directly lowers the amount of motivation you'll have to get things done. I don't know if you notice
Mm,
this yourself, but in times when you get, for me specifically, in times when I get little sleep, I have really little motivation to get even the smallest tasks done. Like even getting out of bed to eat breakfast or like doing my homework. Like I would much rather prefer the short-term dopamine of like scrolling through TikTok or whatnot. But as
mm,
soon as I get enough sleep, right, there's just like almost like this magical increase in getting and having motivation for the bigger tasks. Like it's way more natural to get out of the bed and actually get started on my routines and stuff like that.
mm,
So it's not just about the fact that I'm sleepy or I'm not sleepy. It's also what I believe is this hormonal release that comes with with the restful night. So if you so I'm just saying this so you realize that sleep is more than just not feeling sleepy, but it's also this huge other component of actually feeling motivated to get things done. So I realize this in a lot of people. You can see like people who you usually see are sleep deprived. You can agree with me on this or not, but you can see this common trend with sleep deprived people not really being that ambitious. Am I correct? Do you see that often?
not necessarily. I mean, a lot of my friends are commonly sleep deprived, and they seem quite ambitious.
Can you
But,
explain that to me?
huh? I mean,
Okay,
I,
they're ambitious in the fact they want to achieve big things in life,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but they're
I
not
agree. I agree.
proactive to get
Sure,
it done.
sure, sure.
So like for me, right? I know you. I know like three. I only know like two people honestly. So it's kind of like a
It's just
not
a small
good enough,
sample size.
not a good sample size,
Okay,
but
but whatever.
it's a
I get
nonetheless a
what you
trend
mean.
I
It's just,
realize.
yeah, I get what you mean. So you're saying uh your prescription for me as the all-knowing doctor of productivity is to just get enough sleep. Is my first thing
Yeah,
course of action. That was what my mom said too.
yeah, because it really is important. It's a huge factor that you really have to take into consideration. You know Maslow's triangle.
Huh?
You know Maslow's triangle of needs, hierarchy of needs.
Oh yeah, that thing.
So like the basic needs, right, are on the bottom. And okay, I'm kind of gonna reform this triangle a little bit, but let's put like on the top productivity. Before you get that, you need to achieve all these basic other fundamentals, right? And
Yes.
sleep is one of the biggest like bases on that triangle. So focusing on sleep, which we're going to talk about now, is your first case, and you really have to realize how important it is. But now let's really talk about it. Okay, how are we going to change your sleep schedule? Well, if, I'm just guessing right now. Your sleep schedule is hard to change right now because you don't want to go
I
to
mean,
sleep earlier, or is it hard to
I
go to
do
sleep
want to
earlier?
sleep earlier. I have this past week. I have tried that, and it's worked to extent. It's worked for every single weekday, but then when it got to the weekend, it did not work because we watched a movie, and then we watched like Puss in Boots 2, and then yeah, after that it was
Me?
just like, cause like I had a hard limit of when was it? I set a hard limit for myself of 9. No, oh no, it was 10. Yeah, 10 was my hard limit, and then I basically followed that. Every day got a bit later, but I still managed to sleep basically before then. And then like when it got to the day we watched a movie, I was just like, okay, I'm done, and I slept like 1, because we watched a movie and it was already like 12. So yeah.
Okay, so you're able to sleep earlier, right? Okay, the problem is not about this your
The,
circadian rhythm, right?
no,
It's
no.
about it's about wanting to sleep earlier.
Yeah, yeah. It's just the I procrastinate like everything, including my sleep.
Okay, well, I want you to first realize that this is oh shit, oops.
It's
It's
okay. It's
this
all right. You
this
said
is
shoot, right? Yeah.
I said shoot. This is what is it called again? It's positive positive reinforcement. Okay, well, hold on. So, you
Positive
not getting sleep,
reinforcement.
you
Oh,
not getting
positive
sleep.
reinforcement loop.
Yeah, you
Yes,
not getting
I
sleep.
recognize this.
Okay, you
What does
recognize
this
that,
have
right?
to be do with applying productivity theory, Jeffrey? I
Okay,
came
yeah,
for a
I'm just
lecture not on how to fix
listen,
my
dude.
sleep schedule, but
You
how to
can't apply.
apply my. This is a
Shut up,
scam.
please. Shut
You
up,
sell
please.
me these
Shut
productivity
up, please.
lectures, and
Listen,
you're
listen,
saying
listen,
you.
listen,
Okay,
listen,
okay,
listen.
okay, okay.
There's a reason why I always talk about the conceptual ideas because you can't apply without knowing. So
But
I
I
don't
know
know
them
if,
already,
dude, that's why
Jeffrey.
I asked you, are you familiar, like, do you know that this is a positive reinforcement loop? Okay, I'm just clarifying, okay? Why are you getting
Okay,
so mad? Please just bear with me, please.
because I paid good
You're
money for
not paying
this.
for anything, man. Shut up. Doing this out of the goodwill of my heart.
Okay, thank
But
you, Jeffrey,
but like
for the
okay,
goodwill of your
now
heart.
because you're accusing me of giving you too much theory and not enough applications,
Okay.
now I have to talk about another little bit of theory in which that is you can't it's so much harder to willingly do things if you don't know the reason behind it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
what
Okay.
that
I
means.
agree with this theory point too.
Okay, well, do you
I've
understand why, or do I have to
I've
explain that?
reflected countlessly times on my channel and my journal why I want to do YouTube and why I want to make my videos, and cannot come to a reasonable conclusion. And I don't think anyone can help me come to that reasonable conclusion until I make more videos, until I explore more and find why I really want to do this. And then maybe that's how wants me to helps me be more productive. But then the problem is I'm stuck in this infinite loop because I can't finish my videos, so I can't even figure out why I
Okay,
want to do it.
right. That's beyond that. Okay, that goal of trying to find the reason of your videos comes after we actually figure out how to become more productive for our first videos. Okay,
All right, all
so
right, all
that's
right.
the bigger
One
goal. All right,
step at a
I'm
time.
not
One
focusing
step
on
at a
that.
time.
But you are
Okay.
right, right? Knowing why is so crucial in helping you actually want to make a difference to reform it. Okay, we have that out of the way. Okay, so the issue is you have a hard time getting yourself to go to bed and you set deadlines for yourself, but you're procrastinating. Wait, so let me ask you this. On weekdays, you said that you follow 10 o'clock strict deadline, but was that really
Well,
strict? Did you really follow that every single time?
no, I was at like 11 sometimes. But
Then what
like
did you
it
do?
was much improved. Like this past week was much improved from like 1 a.m. sleeping. So it was a very big improvement for myself, and I think I can continue improving this week.
Okay, so
So
what did you do? Wait, what did you do when you slept at 11
I just
on that
slept.
night? So you didn't feel bad or anything?
I'm like it's okay.
Okay,
This is
okay.
bad. This is bad, but tomorrow will be better.
All right. And then Friday, whatever. So let's say that was Thursday, and then the next day you followed the same thing, right? You followed the 10 o'clock regular sleep pattern, right?
Well, yeah, it was like every day got later until the point was like 11:30. But like that was still so much
Okay.
better than my 1 a.m. that I was still pretty happy for the progress I was making that 1 week. And this week I think I can make reasonable progress compared to that last week.
Okay. Um, Again, we have to talk about some theories before we talk about applications, just so
All
that
right.
you're familiar with it.
This whole
But
lecture was talking about
dude,
applications, and
listen,
you have
listen.
not touched upon
Look,
one thing
brother,
of applications so far.
brother. Listen, okay.
Okay,
I already
okay,
told you
okay,
this. Like, I
brother.
told you this before. You can't apply without knowing, okay?
I
And
know
a
though,
lot. No,
brother.
that's why I'm bringing up more theories so that we can go over them. Can you stop being so mad? Once we cover all the theories, well, then we'll talk about applications. So please, come on, man. All right.
I'm
So
starting
for
to doubt your
dude, dude,
doctoral
stop.
certifications.
Oh my God, man.
Okay, 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 okay.
Can
Fine,
a
fine.
doctor treat his patient without knowing how to, like, having a MD with like knowing all the parts of the body and stuff? Okay, all right, that was
Okay, this is my
I could have
analogy,
I
Mr.
could have phrased that
Doctor.
better.
Okay, okay,
I could have phrased
Mr.
that better. But like, can an optometrist treat and prescribe a contact lens if they don't even know how the eye works? No, you have to understand everything, and there's
But
a
I
lot of
understand.
components to
I'm a
understand.
fellow.
But you're interrupting me every single time I try to bring up topics
All
that
right.
it's
Okay. Okay.
crucial to
Okay. Okay.
understand.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know what you want me to
I
do.
will. I will.
Like,
I
I'm
will.
not gonna give you the applications if you don't understand the concepts.
I
Like, it's
will.
stupid. It's pointless. You're gonna be like, why does that work then? What does that mean? Like, I don't want to answer those follow-up questions when I would originally like answer them through the conceptual understanding,
All
okay?
right.
So
All right. All
please.
right. All right. I will. I will.
God damn,
I
you're
will.
so unappreciative of the master that is here in your YouTube channel right now. Come on, man.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
anyways, first thing you've been telling me, this is also application while talking about theory. So I don't, you're like, like, please shut up. So first thing I want to talk about is this idea of appeasement. Okay, this is something we both learned in English class when
Okay.
in World War II when they just let Hitler take all the countries around Europe.
Okay.
But
Sure.
I find this topic to be a core piece of just regular day life psychology. Right?
Appeasement. Yeah. Sure.
This idea of letting letting a bad habit or behavior go under the impression that it's not a big deal. Okay, that's kind of the idea of appeasement, right?
Sure.
So it's this as soon as you start to do a bad habit, it's this tendency to elevate the severity of that bad habit. That's basically appeasement. In your case,
I don't think
you're
that's what appeasement is.
what is it then?
It's like, oh, I did this bad habit. It's okay. I'll it's okay. Like, in terms of bad habits, I don't really see what appeasement has to do with it. It's like, oh, I'll give you this little thing, and then
Okay, it's like you.
eventually
Okay,
it
all right,
cascades
all
into
right.
big things.
I guess perspective is a little bit wrong there, but I'm saying it's in terms of you telling yourself it's okay. Let me just give you an example, okay? In your case, you're appeasing yourself by saying, it's okay, today I won't follow 10 o'clock that strictly. I'll do 11 o'clock. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, you're appeasing yourself
Ah, sure.
under the
Okay, that
impression
is
that's
appeasement.
not that bad of a night,
Ah,
bad
okay,
of a
okay,
thing.
okay. I got what
Go
you're
one
saying
hour
now.
sleep.
Okay.
But as we know from history, right? And from also from like your examples, right? As soon as you start appeasing, it escalates severely. It basically the
Okay.
habit goes to smithereens.
Shambles, shambles. Okay,
Shambles, shambles,
okay.
shambles. All right. So this I okay, so in terms of setting goals and and just general guidelines, right? You have to understand that you can't you can't ever appease yourself. If you set a deadline for 10 o'clock, you make it a priority to every single time, no matter what, sleep before 10 o'clock.
Hmm.
Okay? There's some times where life doesn't let you do that, right? And in those cases, if you're not self-disciplined to understand that whatever happened that day was like an exception or like a severe scenario and that it doesn't really follow appeasement and that you didn't really let yourself sleep that late, but you really had to sleep that late. Okay, unless it was that like that emergency situation, you have to like instigate like a behavioral punishment in that once you begin to appease yourself, you have to really make yourself feel bad about doing it. You can't appease yourself
Uh,
basically. So, for example, for you, right? Um,
so I
okay,
instigate concrete punishments for myself for breaking my own habits or
right,
forming
right.
a.
So,
But
yeah, right. So, for example, right now, when you sleep at 11, okay, like one day messes you up, you have a bunch of homework or whatever, and you sleep later. Like,
sure.
if you just tell yourself, okay, no big deal. Tomorrow I'll get back on track. And you don't do anything else about it, like what's the real tendency that you're gonna keep like you're gonna try to restart that streak of sleeping at 10 o'clock the next day? You already broke it, so what's bad about breaking it more, right? There's no real incentive to keep on continuing the streak. Like the reason why 10 o'clock every single day works for a while until it doesn't is because the idea of a streak that you know that you've been doing it for a while and you don't want to break that tendency. But as soon as it's broken, like it just keep on breaking more. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So instead of letting that happen, right? As soon as you appease yourself, you instigate a behavioral punishment. As soon
Okay.
as you go to bed at 11 o'clock, you prior to actually making that mistake or making that prior to actually staying up later, like you tell yourself in like an agreement that if I don't sleep at 10 one day, the next day I'm gonna throw my phone into like into this compartment where I can't use it for the entire day. And
Okay.
you make that contract with yourself, right? And now when you sleep at 11, right, there's actually incentive for you the next day to go to actually sleep at 10 because you want to get your phone back. So this requires a lot of self-discipline, but by making this contract with yourself, it's kind of like it gives a really strong motivation to actually like not fall for appeasement and actually stay on track with your habits. Right? Do you see the difference between doing something like a contract rather than just letting it go and trying to go back to a regular sleep schedule?
I guess, but my philosophy is like you shouldn't beat yourself up too much over one failed day, or else it becomes a very bad mentality.
Right, right. Yeah, but there's a difference between feeling bad about it and putting a punishment on it. Okay? Like even though you stay up until 11, okay, for me, if this was my case, I have a lot of times where I do this to myself, right? I messed up something. I was on a streak of like 200 days or 100 like 100 days without doing a bad habit, and then I do it one day, okay?
Okay.
Rather than feeling bad, I feel like, okay, that happened, right? I can't do anything about it. It's not bad or good, but now I can instigate the punishment I set for myself earlier and try to get back on track. It's okay. The punishment is not really about making you feel bad. It's about setting you back on track to stay like to keep on doing what you want to do. So I never feel bad about messing up or like staying up later than usual or whatever the bad habit is. I always think of it as like part of the experience. It's often bound to happen, and that's why you set that contract with yourself earlier. So, if you have this mentality of thinking that punishment is going to be correlated to you feeling bad, then it's kind of more of the fact that you got to reframe your mindset off like these relapses, right? Or whenever you do something bad, you got to reframe your mindset from like feeling really bad about it to like thinking as just a bump in the road, but it's a bump in the road in which you know how to fix and can get back on track. Okay, okay. In a sense, basically, if you don't have a plan to get past the hardship or whatever the bump in the road you're currently in, you're kind of bound to feel bad because you have no way to get out of it. But if you have a plan to surmount those bumps in the road or those obstacles, then it really doesn't become like a period of feeling bad about yourself. It just becomes a period of, okay, that happened. It's inevitable to happen. So it happened, but now I can get over it and then like continue on with my life the next day, right? So it's more like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. So is that it? That's the key.
I mean, okay, this is a really small. I mean, this is just a really small portion of productivity we're talking about. But I mean, in the case of okay, we just talked about a really small snippet of sleep. I haven't talked about anything else about the
Yeah,
productivity about
maybe
your.
this would be better in a podcast. Like the video is already 25 minutes long.
Yeah, I mean, this is not really suited for a small topic. This is a huge thing. That's why it's called a lecture, productivity lecture. There's so many
Uh,
dimensions to cover with this.
I agree. But I don't
Yeah,
think we have
but
much time here today
I mean,
left.
do you think I efficiently answered your question or
No,
your
you did
concern?
not. You have not answered any segment of my question of how do I
Earlier.
apply productivity. Sure.
Okay,
The only
okay,
thing I have learned from
okay.
this lecture with you today is to
Okay, listen.
enforce
All right,
harsh punishments
all
upon
right. Listen,
myself
listen, listen,
when I break
listen,
a
listen,
habit, right? And
listen. Yeah,
sure,
okay,
while that
right.
may work, I've tried that before. I don't know. I don't know, man. Your doctor is looking a bit suspect.
Okay, okay. I
Uh,
guess I
uh,
didn't actually talk about applications yet. So we covered the theory now. Now I'm actually tell you application in terms of what you can do right now, right?
sure.
Okay. So you know about these two concepts or these concepts I'm talking about. So like what I want you to do right now is that it's obviously you can sleep earlier. So I want you to put okay, grab a calendar, right? Or grab a piece of paper, write out all the date, all like, or just get a calendar, okay? And then every single day, you set a goal of when I'm gonna sleep, so it's like 10 o'clock. Every single day, you actually get that, like sleep for 10 o'clock, you put a check mark, okay?
All
And then
right.
you want your goal is to try to achieve as long a streak as possible. And this should be almost like 95% of the time, unless there's an extreme circumstance. Like you should have no excuses to not be able to sleep like that. But on the off times you are not able to do it, um, you do like the thing I talked about with the punishment, right? Just make it something that you like, right? Maybe what do you like doing in a day?
Nothing.
Like
I just occasionally play
like comp
Minecraft.
oh my gosh. Do you
Like
like your phone?
yeah, but it's boring. I don't want to do it. So it'd be nice if I weren't to use it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Like for me, it's no entertainment at night, which is a huge thing for me because that's the only time I have to get to relax. Maybe, maybe
Uh,
for you,
the thing is, look, I feel like we've been going nowhere. I apologize, Dr. Jeffrey, but I feel like your diagnoses have been just circling around my sleep schedule and stuff and like that, right? I think
yeah.
I'm gonna self-prescribe here. Okay, ready?
What?
So I I have I think I if because in 10th grade
Mm,
I had a month in the summer
right.
where I completely stopped all YouTube. Zero
Mm,
YouTube at all. Like
yeah.
actually no YouTube.
Mm,
And I just said to myself, I'm not gonna watch YouTube at all. I'm not gonna play any games. And I did that. I did just that. In that 1 month,
yeah.
I did not watch any YouTube. I did not play any games. Sure, there were some borderline things. Like I played this code busting puzzle game, and I'm like, oh, this is like half exercising your brain, so it doesn't really count. And sure, I did that. But when I set a hard limit for myself, and the hard limit is defined enough, I can find a way. Like I trust my ability to fulfill that hard limit, but it has to be extremely, extremely hard limit. Like I can't be
Right.
like, oh, 10 minutes of YouTube per day, because that just won't
Yeah.
work for me, right?
Yeah.
But if I, oh my gosh, if I actually set a good enough hard limit for myself, it works like most of the time. And so maybe
Can I
I
interrupt real
just
quickly?
that's what I did for my sleep, right? I don't think the
Can I interrupt real quickly?
let me just finish my monologue, please.
Okay.
The thing for my sleep is that I I said I would sleep at 9. No, 10, right? But then for myself, I set an actual hard limit of 11. I'm like, okay, I'll try to sleep at 10, but my actual hard limit is
Sh-
11. And so the thing about that is I don't think my limit was defined clear enough. And if I
Brother.
define a clear enough limit and I really tell myself I'm going to do this, I can do it. I don't need a punishment associated with it. You see what I mean?
Yeah, okay. That's not just you. That's literally every single human being. And I don't know why you
Oh,
just said
okay.
my prescription is not good because I'm okay. Okay, that's a okay. That's a different thing we didn't cover yet. But in terms of like the goals, right? Right, this is this is a whole nother thing. But in terms of when you're setting goals, the key things about goals is they have to be within the range of big enough, but also not too big, right? The perfect range of that.
Sure.
And they have to be very specifically defined every single time you
Yes.
have a goal. Because otherwise, you don't have anything to aim at, right? It's the same thing with a thesis or the in an essay. If your thesis is very broad or like, or it's not just broad, but like vague, right? You don't know what you're actually aiming to argue in the essay. So in the same sense, like you said right now, whatever you describe with yourself about not having a strict, I mean, hard enough goals, it's not just you. That's every single human being. That's not just you. That's for me too. I realized myself, right? When I told myself, like I'm gonna study, like try to study 2 to 4 hours of Japanese every single day. I didn't do
Mm.
that. I couldn't. I just didn't. It was I didn't really know what the like. I could do two. I could do four. I didn't really know. But when I said in a week, right? I'll do 10 hours every single day. Not negotiable. It was easy. I knew what to aim for. I had a whole schedule written out. It was very specific. At every single interval of the day, I knew how to do that at that time. So it was very clear what I had to do. So for a goal, it should be that similarly clear. So for you, right? Like what you just told me about 10 to 11 was stupid. That's never gonna work. That's like almost never gonna work. Why would a human being follow that? Like it's stupid. You have to make sure it's very clear. For me, this is my sleep schedule, okay? 10 o'clock off the computer, no screens. Okay? 10:15 on the bed, no exceptions. That's and I follow that every single day because it's very clear. At 10 o'clock, I see the time. I cut off all the things on my doing computer. If I was studying for a test, like I did this in my previous one, I had a cumulative, right? It hit 10, even though I wasn't too prepared, I was like, okay, I gotta follow it. It's 10 o'clock. I shut down my computers, went to go do my like nighttime routine. 10:15, I'm on the bed. And I follow it every single time because it's very clear for me. That's the same thing you should be doing with your goals and having them clear. But there's also this other part where I talked about how big that they are, right? So I also realized in my own experience that if your goal, a lot of times, okay, you're gonna need two types of goals. One is small and one is big. Um, a small one is the one that's gonna get you the motivation to do on a smaller level. But the bigger one is the one in the long term scheme. So example of that for you sleep for sleep, right? Is small term goal is to get to bed every day at 10 o'clock. The long term goal here would be um, do that for a month. Okay. And in this sense, the reason you might not think that the big goal is like really important here, but um, okay, okay, but and what happens here is that the big goal is the over is gonna pick you up when you are failing the small goal, if that makes sense. So the small goal is something that propel you to do it every single day, but the big goal is something that'll propel you to do it for the long run. So another example of this for me, right, for studying Japanese, um, my big goal was preparing for the AP exam to get a five. Okay, and my small goal was like just studying every day for 1 hour. And a lot of times it was kind of hard for me to study for 1 hour every single day. And like if I just had that one goal, small goal of studying 1 hour every single day, like even though it's like specific enough, there's still not that much incentive to try, right? There's not that much motivation. But as soon as I know that the big goal is with like I have this big goal in my mind, which is to do good on the AP test in 3 months, it like gives you motivation to aim for your small goals. So in that sense, if that makes sense, for your sleep, right? It's not it's not for both of the goals, they have to be clear, but they also have to be different in how big they are. So for your small goal, you can have it for at 10 o'clock, but your big goal can be to like get 3 months of solid sleep, 8 hours every single day, no matter what, and in order to actually become productive, right? That's your bigger tangible goal. Or not, okay, productive is not specific enough. In order to get, um, I don't know, like one video uploaded a week. I don't know, something like that. That doesn't really make sense. Those don't really connect. But like, you know what I mean? Right? It's more tangible, right? 3 months.
Sure.
Actually, no. Okay, in this case, because you have to assume for mess ups, you do like 3 months of like trying to think of a way. This is oftentimes takes a lot of brainstorming in terms of goals. Some like it's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to do on the spot. but like 3 months of
Yeah.
you have to account for the exceptions in daily life.
Okay, I have no idea where this has gone.
Right, okay, anyhow, you know what? So I'm just saying that in case of you applying for your sleep, is that you need a small goal and a big goal, and they have to be very clear.
Okay,
You understand that, right?
sure.
So that's an application you can start making today.
Okay,
I mean, it
cool.
seems like you haven't done that, so you know what I mean?
All right, all right. Yeah. Okay, this video has gone on way too long.
Oh, upload this.
Huh? I'm
What?
uploading it. I'm uploading it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying. I think this would be a nice podcast. But for a Snuka 2 video, this is a 35-minute Snuka 2 video. This is the longest on record.
Yeah, then don't
Like,
upload it.
I
Just make this into a podcast.
no, I'm uploading it.
Yeah, I'd rather do a podcast than Strucker too, bro.
We can do a podcast later. We can start a podcast.
Okay.
But that can be a separate project. But this can be a preview of our podcast, you know?
Okay, they can like clarify in that beginning or something.
Nah, that's fine. I'll just put it
Okay.
in the comment or something. Or the description.
Okay. Okay, well, in a more tangible sense, right? We talked about I talked about a lot of theories still, but
Okay, just wrap it
now
up. You can do the outro.
now I'm gonna do extreme applic.
No, just wrap it up. Just wrap it up. I'm tired, Jeffrey.
Brother,
I need to leave soon.
I'm trying to
Mr.
wrap it up for
Doctor,
you. I'm trying to wrap it up for you and then
Alright,
for the
fine.
audience, okay? For you, all right. In terms of sleep, set that mini goal. Okay, I don't think with
I'm getting
long-term
a
goals-
call from my mother. Okay, everyone. This has gone on way too long.
Wait, I'm not
Okay,
done
hurry
yet,
up.
man.
I need to call my mother. Wait, let me pause the recording here.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, welcome back. Okay, please
Okay,
wrap
right.
it up very fast.
So for you, right? First, set goal for sleep. I don't think long term is that important right now, but just sleep 10 o'clock every single day.
Yeah,
Okay, have
Okay.
that dead ass goal, dead goal,
it's
really
fine.
firm
It's fine.
goal. Okay.
That means
And then
donkey.
second, we'll apply this idea of goals to the idea of editing videos. Set a goal of editing videos for 1 hour or 2 hours every single day. And 1 hour or 2 hours is not specific enough. I would make it like right after school or right after dinner, right?
That's a good idea.
Make that really specific, really clear when you have to do it. And that encourages you to actually do it at that time. So those two ideas I want you to start implementing starting today. Okay. Using the
Okay.
idea we talked about with goals and this idea of motivation, because they're all going to propel you for all the future things I'll talk about in the future. But yeah, you do that first. This has been Sharker 2. My name is Jeffrey. My Jeffrey. I'm a productive master. Thank you very much for listening to our conversation. See you guys in the later video.
Yeah, remember subscribe to my main channel, join my Discord, do all that good stuff. And I will see you guys tomorrow after this really longest video on record, 38 minutes. Wow, this is truly a podcast. Oh, also stay tuned. We might be starting a podcast because if you guys actually like this, you guys might like the podcast too. Anyways, see you guys. Bye.